Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to another edition of therapy session for the New York Giants, who lose a heartbreaker yesterday. And I would say that is definitely a way to lose a game without question. Only the Giants, man. Only the Giants. Russ throws for 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, including one with 25 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And when we're doing the game, I told Chris I can't even celebrate because there's too much time left. And Aubrey has a great leg. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. You can almost predict it when it comes to the New York Giants, man. You can almost predict it. I mean, it's just what they do. They find ways to lose constantly. They're the worst team in football since 2017. What really ticks me off is Shane Bowen. I've been very vocal about Shane Bowen as of late. I think he needs to be fired. I think he was terrible last year. This team had a total of 4 interceptions last year? 4 interceptions as a unit. They only had like 6 turnovers. They didn't have many turnovers last year. Wink had more turnovers in 3 games than Shane Bowen's had his entire career with the New York Giants. He just plays a very soft, weak brand of defense. And with this kind of talent, you would think he would figure it out, and he doesn't. The Giants, the first play pressed, and I don't remember if it was Dex. It wasn't Dex. I forgot who got there and hit Dak's arm, and you thought it was a fumble at first, but it was an incomplete pass. So they got pressure on him, and it was incomplete. The next play, the defensive backs are 20 yards off the line of scrimmage. Dak throws an easy pass, 18 yards or in midfield. At that point, they're already in field goal range because this kid has a leg. This isn't your normal kicker. So why you're not playing aggressive down there, they're not going to score a touchdown. So you have to be aggressive so they can't get any yards and they can't get near midfield. But Shane Bowen doesn't do that shit. So they play weak. They play soft zone. It ends up costing them. But again, man, only the Giants, because I swear to God, this offense makes a play. The defense can't make a play. The defense gets a stop. The offense can't get a score. This is why the Giants constantly lose football games, because nobody steps up when they need them to step up. Either the defense lets down or the offense lets down or the special teams lets down. It's always something. It's always something. Before we get into it, man, just want to give a big shout out to Sleeper. Sleeper sponsors the stream, obviously. I got my picks tonight. I'm going to run them during the ad, but I got a couple picks here with the Raiders and Chargers. The Raiders and Chargers are coming up. So I got some picks. When we run the commercial, we'll show you my picks. And, of course, Body Armor Sport Water right there. Get yourself some Body Armor Sport Water, baby. I always have my Body Armor Sport Water. It drowns my sorrows in a healthy way. We'll go out. You can check it out. Links in the description. BodyArmor.com. Links in the description for Sleeper. Get a 100% match deposit bonus all the way up to $100. Use that promo code BADDOG. Been a lot of people signing up. Appreciate you guys signing up. You'll have a lot of fun on Sleeper. More fun than watching the Giants, I can tell you that. But, yeah, Body Armor Sport Water, baby. Alkaline water, pH 9+ with a proprietary electrolyte formula, wide mouth for easy hydration. Body Armor Sport Water is built for all-day hydration for the athlete and all of us. And if you're like me and you want to flavor it up, baby, you go get some of these hydration booster sticks. They're 0 sugar. They're between 10 and 15 calories, as you see. They come in 5 flavors: cucumber, lime, lemon, lime, grape, kiwi, strawberry, and tropical punch. So go out and get some of it. I don't really know what to say, man. I'm kind of out of words with the Giants. I don't really know where to go, man. I'm at a loss for words. That's for sure. I can sit here and scream until I'm red in the face, which I think I did in my last video. Well, not my last video, my post-game video. And none of it really changes anything. It makes you feel good for a little bit, but then obviously the next day I'm very calm about stuff. But like it's depressing because I don't know how to fix this. And the Giants haven't been able to fix this. in years. They just haven't. We've had so many GMs and so many coaches and so many coordinators and different quarterbacks and different linemen and different receivers and different running backs, and the results are always the same. And we can talk about Jackson Dart, and Jackson Dart may be great. He may be an awesome quarterback, but Jackson Dart's not going to play better than Russell Wilson did yesterday. That loss saying on Russ, you can point to him fumbling and throwing an interception in overtime. We shouldn't have even been in overtime. We shouldn't have even been there. Russ shouldn't have even had the opportunity to do that stuff. He won the game. Russ won the game. The defense lost it. Only the Giants could lose, could have somebody force overtime with 25 seconds. Russ did everything he could do, man. Russ was fantastic. As a matter of fact, I think Russ leads the league in yards passing, if I'm not mistaken, after 2 games. Malik Neighbors leads the league in yards receiving. There's a lot of guys. Brian Burns leads the league in sacks. The Giants have had some really good individual performances. And that's great. But they don't win. And that's what I want, man. I want wins. Again, Eagle fans can get mad all they want. Jalen Hurts didn't do a damn thing yesterday. Nothing. He did nothing. But he won. The guy literally threw for 101 yards. And they dominated the Chiefs. I'll never understand why Eagle fans get mad when I tell them that Jalen Hurts is not an elite quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback. He doesn't need to be an elite quarterback. He just needs to be what he is. I'd much rather have a guy like that doesn't need to put up 400 yards, can put up 150 yards and rush for a touchdown and win a game. I don't care. Like, I don't need to sit here and defend the players. I will defend my players. But when people tell me Eli Manning wasn't elite, I don't argue. I think he was elite a couple years. I think 2011, he was absolutely elite. Absolutely an elite quarterback. Almost 5,000 yards passing. He set a record for passing yards in the playoffs. He threw 9 touchdowns in the playoffs, and he won another Super Bowl MVP. He threw for 296 yards in the Super Bowl. So I'll say that year he was, but as an overall quarterback, he was not an elite quarterback. And I don't care. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He wasn't Peyton Manning. He wasn't Drew Brees. He wasn't Tom Brady. He wasn't Aaron Rodgers. And I'm fine with that. Because guess what? Aaron Rodgers has won 1 Super Bowl in his career. Drew Brees won 1 Super Bowl in his career. Peyton Manning won as many as Eli did. Tom Brady's different. Tom Brady's the GOAT. But, my name is Eli Manning. I'm nice. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Psych! I beat him twice. But we're going to try something different tonight. And I see the super chats. I always appreciate that very much. I really do appreciate that because, again, you guys and girls don't have to do that. I really appreciate you tuning into my post-game videos. Those have done really well. I have picked up like 500 subscribers the last 2 weeks, so I greatly appreciate that. But you guys supporting the channel means a lot to me because this team is bad. It's really bad. And, again, I really appreciate that you still have interest, even if it's not in the Giants, you have interest in me or whatever, even after 2 weeks. But I'm going to try something much different. I'm going to get to those super chats in a minute. I'm going to try something different today. I'm going to try something different this week. I've screamed. I've yelled. I've been mad. We're dumpster fire. We suck. I've talked about all the negative stats. I do find some funny things. One thing I always find ironic, and it's very rare. Like I have, 1,100, 1,200 comments, 1,700 comments on one video, which I love. I appreciate you guys commenting. That really helps out a lot. A lot of comments on those post games. I love when people say to me, "Oh, I can't listen to this, man. All you do is complain." The irony of somebody telling me I can't watch this because all you do is complain. The fact they're complaining about me complaining is hilarious. Do they not realize that that's what they're doing when they say that to me? Oh, I love you, man, but all you do is complain. Well, we stink. What do you want me to do? I'm just talking about the game. We lose, and I talk about bad performances. That's what happened. That's not complaining. That's what happened. If we win a game and I sit here and bash the team, that's complaining. But yeah, like I said, it's far and few between. But there's so many people when I read the comments, like, bro, they're like, I love, number one, a lot of people are like, the best thing about the Giants losing is your rants. You make me laugh. Your thumbnails are hilarious. You're a passionate guy. Thank you for saying what I feel. I appreciate your passion. I get that a lot. And that always makes me feel really good. I'm glad that you guys enjoy the videos because, again, when I do those post games, I do them right after because I want absolute raw emotion. That is exactly what I'm feeling after those games. But we're going to try something different today. We're going to try something different this week. Whoops. I don't know how that happened. We're going to try something different. We're going to talk positively today. We're going to talk about some positive aspects about the New York Giants. That's right. Tonight, we're going to go the other way and see how this works with the good vibes. Now, listen, I came into the year gung-ho. I do it every year. It doesn't really matter. It don't matter what it is. I'm a fan. I always think with my heart rather than my head in August. It's just the way it is. I'm always excited for the season. We ain't played in 7 months. I'm ready to go. I always feel like this is going to be the change. Always. I always feel like we've hit rock bottom. I always feel like we're going to have nowhere to come up. And then we lose. But I'm going to say this. And I'm not a guy for moral victories. I'm not a participation trophy guy. Like people are like, oh, he did some good things, blah, 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 blah. I understand that, but I want to win. I don't want to be like, you competed. Here's a trophy. I don't want that shit. I don't take pride in that. If I finish second, I don't take pride in I played well. I sit there and go, what the hell could I have done to win? I don't play to finish second in anything I do. I don't care if it's bowling. I don't care if it's basketball. I don't care if it's Texas Hold'em. I don't care what it is. I'm not playing to finish second. I don't do that. I don't play. I don't get, listen, dude. I mean, when I was young, I remember playing baseball. I wasn't a great baseball player. I had my moments, but it got to a certain point where I couldn't hit a fastball. I mean, people were throwing 85, 87. I couldn't catch up to it. I knew I was done playing baseball. But I can remember one year, it was my senior year. I had a great statistical season. But I played Babe Ruth. I wasn't playing for school. I wasn't good enough to play for school. Babe Ruth, I played there. And my senior year, I had an amazing year. I remember one game, and I never did. I was not really a power hitter. I was more of a line drive hitter. But I had 3 homers and 8 RBIs. I had 3 homers, a triple, and 8 RBIs against the first place team. Like, we were terrible. We were 2-18 that year. In that game, I drove in 8 runs, and we lost 11-8. And I was mad. I played very well. I didn't care. I was sick of losing. At that point, we were 1-9. And I mean, I'm a team guy, so I showed up every week, and I like to play baseball. I'm sorry, I showed up every game. I like to play baseball, but there was part of me like, why am I even playing this? Because we're never going to win. I feel like sometimes, and again, this is at low level, this is at a nothing level league, okay? I feel like professional athletes also get to that point where they're defeated, where they get to a point where it's like, well, geez, we played well, but we still lost. We're playing well, but how are we going to lose today? And it starts to wear on you. Why do I bother trying? Why do I bother giving 100%? We're going to lose. Even if I play really well, the team is not, the coach is not. Something's going to happen that makes us lose. Why do I want to give up? It's just human nature. Tone that down. Now, these guys shouldn't. They're professional athletes. It's way different, like I said, than the league I'm playing in. Okay? Way different. But that's human nature. You have a tendency to let down when you know no matter how well you play, you're probably going to lose. It can mess with you. Now, in the NFL, Maybe it's a little bit different. A lot of these guys are playing for contracts. You know, you're on a bad team. You want to do the best you can. So somebody else picks you up, you get your money, and you go to a better team. And the other thing I'll say before we start talking about some positive things here, there's something wrong with the Giants as an organization. There just is. There's something very wrong because when you watch player after player after player leave here and play so much better than they did here, something's wrong. When you're bringing players here and they underachieve from where they were before, there's something wrong. Barkley was a great player here. Barkley left, became the best running back in the NFL. McKinney was very good here. McKinney went to Green Bay, became the best safety in the NFL, or one of them. Do I need to talk about the quarterback? Daniel Jones leaves here, goes to Indianapolis. They haven't punted one time. They haven't punted once this year. That's just, I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, the Colts, I mean, anybody has a better line than the Giants. Let's be honest. There's something wrong here. There's some kind of toxicity that's really messing these players up. And when they leave the Giants, it's almost like they got out of prison and they're free. And they're free to do whatever they want. They're not magnified. I don't know. I can't explain it. Like, I don't know. I'm not in the locker room. There's just something rotten in Denmark when it comes to the Giants. Something's amiss there. Because, again, this has been for 8 years now. Reese, my voice cracked. Reese, Gettleman, Chain. Results, the same. End of Coughlin's career, McAdoo, Shermer, Judge, Dable. Results are the same. God only knows how many coordinators. Results are the same. Something's wrong here. Something's wrong. I don't know how that gets fixed. I don't know what that piece is. I keep saying it's Chris Mara. I think Chris Mara is the big time problem. They have no idea how to scout talent or how to develop players. The Giants are a very poor organization when it comes to developing players. They just are. There's no way you can miss on this many draft picks, man. There's no way you can take these absolute studs in college and they come here and they're mid or worse than mid. And that's like impossible. And I guarantee you, Evan Neal leaves here next year, wherever he goes. I guarantee you, Evan Neal don't get hurt, and I guarantee the guy's a stud. I guarantee it. Wherever he goes, he'll be great. All right. Now let's talk about the positive stuff, because there is positive stuff. The Giants offense, for the first time in years, and I mean years, they did not have a good first game. That was the game. I thought the game plan sucked week one. I thought it was terrible. I thought Kafka did a terrible job. Outside of those plays in overtime, like that screen, there was some questionable things that they did. Outside of that, I thought Kafka called a brilliant game. I didn't really like Dable going for it on 4th down and 2 from the 12. I felt like they should have kicked a field goal there. But, you know, I'm not going to kill him for that. And I thought it was a good play call. You know, the ball was a little low. Scatterbo could have caught it. He didn't. I mean, but that's, again, when you're not winning football games, those are the things that happen to you. When you're winning football games, you make those catches. It just happens. Like, when you're a good team, a lot of times luck goes your way. Calls go your way. When you're a bad team, that stuff usually goes against you. It just kind of goes hand in hand. I thought Kafka was fantastic. Russ was great. Everybody was talking about Russ was washed. Russ is this. Russ is that. I've always loved Russ. I'm a big Russ Wilson fan. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks. He always has been. I was so happy for him. And when he threw that touchdown to Malik Neighbors, I couldn't believe that they actually came back to take the lead. Now, again, I was not sure they were going to win. I still didn't want to celebrate for obvious reasons. He can't do better. He was phenomenal in that game. Scadaboo showed a lot of heart. Scadaboo's a hard runner. I love him. When I tell you this, though, James Hudson's a fool, and his antics cost the Giants a touchdown in the first drive. I mean, his antics cost the Giants a touchdown a number of times. But the good thing, the positive note, the silver lining about James Hudson being a bonehead and a clown and just a shitty left tackle, Marcus Bowe was great. Marcus Bowe was great in that game. Yeah, he gave up a pressure. That happens to everybody. Even Andrew Thomas gets beat. Marcus Bowe was fantastic. The Giants found their swing tackle. He was great. That was really good to see. So that was really good. Brian Burns was really good. The secondary is not so good. The secondary needs a lot of work. They just do. But that Giants offense was really good. That we have not seen an offensive game like that from them in a long time. Russ was throwing the ball deep. Wan'Dale Robinson's been fantastic this year. As a matter of fact, I think Leak leads the league in yards receiving, and Wan'Dale is sixth or something. It's something like that. Like Wan'Dale had a great game, and Wan'Dale's been really good. Giants got to figure out a way to run the ball somehow. I don't know how that's going to happen, but they got to run the ball. But that offense was really good. And I feel like the pass rush, when Bowen calls for it, it's really good. But I'll never understand why you play a soft zone coverage when you have press corners and you have guys that want to rush the quarterback. It's just a weird thing. There's talent here, man. There is talent. You can see it. The Giants have some pieces here, and there's no doubt about it. They have to either figure out a game plan for this thing, or they're going to have to make a move with the coaching staff, because I'm sorry, you can see the talent with the Giants. It's there. There's players making plays. Problem is, week one, defense wasn't great. Gave up 220 yards on the ground. That's not good. But, Washington had 14 points late into the fourth quarter. Now, the Cowboys only had 14 points, so we blow them away. But see, that's not the way the Giants play football. When a team scores 14, we score 6. When we score 37, they score 40. The Giants just can't figure out a balance on how to, put a game away, per se. I thought they put it away when Malik Neighbors caught that touchdown pass, and the defense set it up. The penalties didn't help. I mean, the penalties were an absolute killer. A killer. 160 yards. Can you imagine what that Giants offense would have scored had they not had 160 yards in penalties? Shit, they might have scored 51. They might have scored 58. Seriously. Seriously. It was a badly officiated game. Way too many flags. They never. It's amazing with how bad the officiating was, how good the game was. I don't like the result, but the game was fantastic. If you're an outside observer to that game, that's the type of game you want to watch. If you have no horse in that race, you love that type of game. We saw. I mean, when I was watching the Bills and Ravens last Sunday night, you don't get better than that. That's a fun game to watch when your team's not playing in it. That's a fun game to watch. But listen, again, it's tough to come on here and say the Giants are going to win Sunday. The Chiefs are 0-2. Listen, I thought the Giants had a chance to win both first games. It would have done wonders for them if they could have held on to one yesterday and been 1-1. It would have done wonders for them. 1-1, 1-1 in the division. You're okay. 0-2, 0-2. It's such a massive swing. And again, they were kind of there against Washington, but they really were never in that game. I just thought that was a bad game plan overall. But the Chiefs being 0-2 worries me that they're desperate. But I said this in the beginning of the year. The Chiefs are not what they used to be, especially with Rashee Rice not there. All right. Kelsey's older. Their line isn't as good as it's been. Their offense is not explosive at all. It's just not. The Giants defense should be able to keep them out of the end zone. They should not score 30 points. Problem is, Chiefs have a really good defense, but this game should be low scoring, kind of like it was with Philadelphia. You're at home. If the Giants can find a way to score 24 points in this game, which is going to be tough, maybe not even 24, 21 points, feel like they can win. I really do. This is not the same Chiefs. It's just not. It's not what it was. They're starting to come back to the pack a little bit. Now they're better than us. I mean, you would think on paper, but maybe they're not. If Russ can have a day, he's not going to go for 450. But if the Giants don't make mistakes and they limit penalties, there's no reason to think they can't beat the Chiefs. And they need to beat the Chiefs. And if you beat Kansas City, I know it's not a division game, but if you find a way to go 1-2, it's just so much better than being 0-3. You know what I mean? Like if they go 0-3, it's curtains. If you go 1-2 and you bring some momentum into that Chargers game, well, maybe you feel like you have a chance. You know, really quick, guys and girls. Again, big shout out to Sleeper. I'm going to run this ad. I'm going to show you my picks in the ad for tonight's game between the Raiders and the Chargers. Let's hear from Sleeper. 80 seconds back into this. I'll be looking at your super chats and taking your questions. I'll be right back. What's going on, guys and gals? Do you think you know football? Then try to turn your football knowledge into real money with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. Just download the Sleeper app and pick more or less on your favorite players. With more stats than any daily fantasy app, just choose 2 or more of your favorite players from pregame or live. Pick more or less from the predicted stats, and you can win up to 100 times your money if your picks win. There's also a couple of really cool things about the Sleeper app. You can place in-game contests, contest voids for injuries. There's only a $1 minimum entry for users. Updated scoring to track your fantasy players' sleeper picks in real time. Entries can be made within 30 seconds. It's really that easy, and you get safe and fast withdrawals. You can check out my picks for the week right over here. And you guys can do the same thing. Predict the hottest football stats like passing yards, receiving yards, touchdowns, interceptions, and much more to cash in on your daily fantasy football skills. And I got a great promotion for you guys. Just use the promo code BADDOG, that's BADDOG, and Sleeper will match your first deposit all the way up to $100. You definitely want to check out the Sleeper app. There's a lot of fun to be had on that. Test your football knowledge and skill, win some money, and let's go Giants. Let's go Giants indeed. Maybe. The one thing I can say is we competed very well, and we hadn't competed in a long time. So to compete against Dallas, a team that's owned us, I mean, Dallas's defense is terrible, but you were in that game. Yeah, you really should have won it. It just, like I said in my video today, you just look at some of the way the Giants have lost some of these games over the years. Evan Ingram's drop against the Eagles, the offsides by Dexter Lawrence against the Commanders, even though he was never offsides, or they called him offsides. Just a lot of things. And there were some injuries around the league too, man. Joe Burrow was out for a long time. You know, people, and the other thing is, like, people overreact to certain things, like J.J. McCarthy. Like, J.J. McCarthy was really bad for 3 quarters against the Bears, and he had that great quarter. And everybody's talking about how great he is. And I was not a fan of J.J. McCarthy. I'm just not. I don't think J.J. McCarthy, I think he got carried by Michigan. And he was horrible last night. Horrible. And then he got hurt, and he's out 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of McCarthy. I don't know what he's going to be, but I'm not a fan of him. I'm just not. And he was terrible. The Falcons don't have a good defense. He was awful in that game. Toasty, thank you so much. Says Daboll should have gone for 2 after the touchdown. Oh, the only thing with that is if he goes for 2 and he doesn't get it, you lose. in regulation. You know what I mean? That's the only bad thing about it. You know, if Chris mentioned it, if Dallas went down and scored, and then the Giants went down and scored in overtime, then you go for two. Because it was obvious the defense couldn't score. I mean, neither defense could stop anybody. These teams scored 41 points in the fourth quarter combined. But yeah, I can't fault Dable for that. Your defense shouldn't be giving up, 30 yards in 25 seconds. It should have been better. The defense you can't lose that game anyway. It shouldn't have even went to overtime. They shouldn't have even had the opportunity to kick a field goal. My guy, Evan, thank you, bro. We're going to piss some people off that don't like my soundboard, but it is what it is.
Thank you for being a friend.
Gabagool. Baker was beat up this whole game, sacked 5 times, hit over 10 times, overcomes it, and leads us to victory. Dude's tough as shit. I love Baker. He's one of my favorite players. That's the second week in a row the Bucs came back to win at the last minute. I love Baker. I'm a big Baker fan. I always have. I have been since his days at Oklahoma. I'm glad he caught on with you guys and played really well. Evan, thank you for doubling up, brother.
Thank you for being a friend.
I had some butter pecan coffee this Saturday. Yeah, I had a charity walk Saturday, so I had to get my butter pecan coffee. Baker's best attribute above all else, maybe is will in his heart. He's always had heart. He's always had moxie. He's had attitude. You don't teach that. Baker's a winner, man. Baker gives you 100% every play. You need those guys in the team. Those are the guys that fire you up. And he takes no shit. He ain't backing down from anybody, So I love Baker. MetLife Stadium.
Thank you for being a friend.
I forgot to add another song for the $5 one. I got to do that. Didn't really hear you mention it. Our secondary might be the worst. Adebo, Banks, Nubin, huge disappointments. I mentioned it briefly when I was talking about our pass rush, but the secondary has got to get better. There's no doubt about it. The secondary is not very good. But a lot of that, in my opinion, has to do with these guys are press coverage corners and Bowen's playing zone. And that's not their strength. It's just not their strength. So, it has been good. Newman had a chance. Well, he didn't have a chance for a pick, but Banks has been a disappointment for a while. Adebo is learning. I'll give him a pass a little bit because he's learning a new system. But again, man, I just feel like the Giants would do better if they played press coverage. But the defense overall has been terrible. And a lot of that has to do with Shane Bowen. They have given up like the second most yards in the league, or maybe they've given up the most yards in the league and the second most points, whatever the hell it is. I mean, their defense is terrible. And the defense was supposed to be great. Right now, the vaunted defense looks completely overhyped and overrated. But that has a lot to do with the play calling. No, granted, the Giants don't tackle very well, and Shane Bowen can't do anything about that. He can't do that. He can't make them tackle. And we've seen a number of times these guys, they're stopped for a yard loss or a yard gain, and they break a tackle, and they get an extra 4 yards or 14 yards. Giants got to clean up the tackle. The tackling is awful on this team. It's really bad. Simon, thank you so much. And Bowen needs to go. End of story. Soft zone clown. That about sums it up. That's about right. MH, thank you, brother. He says, instead of getting mad at the Giants, take my anger out on the gym. That's usually where I take it out. Giants still suck, but at least my body's in the best shape of my life. He ain't preaching to the choir, brother. Preaching to the choir. We hit the gym a little bit. We hit it. Yeah, that's right. 50 never looks so good. 50! So that tells you I've been in the gym a long time because the Giants pissed me off for a long time. I've been in there for 15 years, and ironically enough, the Giants have pretty much been bad for 15 years. So put 2 and 2 together. But the gym is very good. The gym is very therapeutic, not just physically, but mentally. It is good for you. It's very good for you. Aaron, thank you, my friend. He says, usually agree with you a lot, Baddog, but our offensive players are terrorists. The film watchers say their routes are horrible, elite, no. Yeah, I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is bad, but he's not elite. He's not close to elite. I think he's a top 10 guy, right at the bottom of the top 10, but I don't think he's an elite guy. But AJ Brown and them a target. I don't know what your offensive coordinator is doing. But Jalen Hurts, the Eagles' offense is now granted, they Kansas City's got a good defense. My point is the Eagles find ways to win, whether Jalen Hurts is rushing for 4 touchdowns or he's throwing for 100 yards. That's what good teams do. Again, a lot goes on the quarterback, but you don't need a quarterback to be elite if you have a really good team around him. Josh Allen's elite. That dude's never played in a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson's elite. That dude's never played in a Super Bowl. You got to have a good team around you. And Jalen Hurts, hey, man, when you need a drive, he's going to get it done most of the time. Those are the type of guys I want on my team. I want the guy that's going to get it done in the club. Eli was that way. Eli could throw 3 interceptions and look like shit for 56 minutes of the game. You give him that last 4 minutes with a chance to score, I always believed he was going to do it. And a lot of times he did. Oh, well, not all. The Super Bowl, he did it twice. I always believed Eli was going to get it done. No matter how bad he played in that game, if he had a chance to win, I always felt like he was going to get it done. That's shit you can't teach. Jalen Hurts has that. So I got to give him credit for that. He don't need to throw for 400 yards. He don't need to do what Russ did. He said, I would have rather had Russ throw for 101 yards, rush for a touchdown, and win than throw for 450 and 3 touchdowns and lose. Because I don't care about the stats. I care about wins, and they're very difficult to get with the Giants. So, so I don't know what your offensive coordinator is doing, but you're winning football games, and Eagles always start off slow. It's just their mantra. They'll get right against us. Don't worry. Jalen Hurts will have career days against the Giants. Eric, thanks so much. He says, if we hire new staff, no first-time head coaches, yeah, it might be a good idea. The last time they had a retread was Shermer, and that didn't work out good. But McAdoo was a first-time head coach. He was terrible. Judge was terrible. Dable, unfortunately, looks terrible. He started off really good, but since they were 7-2, his rookie, when his first 9 games as a head coach, they've been 11-31-1. That's horrible. And that's 25% of your games. Just about. That's awful. But yeah, I would like I guess I'd like somebody with some head coaching experience too, because it's not working, whatever they're doing. Evan, thanks so much. He says, Mike McCarthy. I don't want McCarthy. I don't think McCarthy's a good head coach at all. I never have. I've never thought McCarthy was a good head coach. He had ungodly talent in Green Bay. Dude could only win 1 Super Bowl. I don't think he's a good coach. I've told Dallas fans he's not a good coach. He's not a winner. He'll win in the regular season, but he's not a good coach. I don't want him. I mean, the guy that we'll see what happens, but the guy that I would like the Giants to take a look at, if they did go that route, that's got to be a flag. Cliff Kingsbury. That's a guy I think the Giants could use, especially with a young guy like Dart. I want to be a bad idea. Big move. Thank you. Coughlin curse. As soon as we fired him, we suck. Well, they did suck a couple of years at the end of his career, but that was because the offensive line was terrible. They should have kept Coughlin in 2016 when they spent all that money on the defense. And I will say it till the day I die. When Coughlin left, when Coughlin was unceremoniously ejected, when he left, a piece of Eli left with him. Eli was never the same guy after that. Now, the offensive line got terrible. Eli started to get older, but Eli had his best statistical seasons at 14 and 15 by far. He threw 35 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. He never had a better year than that statistically. In 2015, the Giants' defense was the worst in the league. He threw 6 touchdowns against the Saints. He lost 52-49. He was the only quarterback in history to throw for 350 yards, 6 touchdowns, no turnovers, and lose. Because there's just something going on with the Giants. But I remember losing 52-49. I remember losing 37-35 against the Patriots, and Landon Collins dropped a touchdown or an interception. The Giants, Coughlin, that defense is bad. That offense is really good. And then they spent all that money on defense. They hired Ben McAdoo. Coughlin should have stayed around. If they were going to fire Coughlin, they should have fired Reese too. They didn't. And that's what sucks. Trucker T! Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. Do me a favor.
Give me a hell yeah.
He says it's John Mara, old dogs, same mind thinking. The Giants won't change or the times. Those are all facts, brother. All facts. Get rid of Shane and Dable. Sell the team. Salute, big dog. Yeah, he won't sell the team, but you're absolutely right. It's old school thinking. The Giants are still like Mara's still acting like it's 1987, and that's not the way it's not the way you win football games anymore. He really does have an old-fashioned mindset. You're not going to win like that. He does not have a modern philosophy. And it's like everybody that he hires is terrible. He just doesn't know how to pick the right guys. You know, he doesn't. It's just weird because, again, there's a lot of there's talent on this team, but they don't know how to put it together. Like they just don't. They have to figure out how to win some games. If they could just win like they did in the preseason, it goes a long way for the confidence of your team to say, like in 2022, man, they got off to a really good start and you knew that they had a chance to come back, and they started to feel that. They came back against the Titans. They came back against the Ravens. They came back against the Packers. And they started to think, instead of, oh, my God, how are we going to lose? They'd go out there and go, all right, how are we going to win? And all those good feelings disappeared the next year, and I don't know why, and I don't know how, but it hasn't been good since. And that freaking sucks a lot. David Bialago, good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. Football as well. I'm just tuning in. One thing that remains the same, if a kicker is going to get a 60-plus yard field goal against the Giants, he'll make it. Yeah, those are facts. Those are facts. But Aubrey's great. I mean, Aubrey's had, 2 kicks of 64 yards plus. No other guys done that. He's kicked like 5 or 6 over 60 yards. It's incredible. How good he is. It's crazy. Raiders are losing 9-3. Big Moo. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Grandma song.
Thank you for being a friend.
Why are we tying up 2 roster spots with Neil and Hyatt? That's a great question. We don't play them ever. Valuable spots, Shane never gives up on his dud draft picks. That's a great question. If you're not going to play these guys, why are they taking up a roster spot? What is the point? Like I said, activate Turbo Miller. I don't understand why. You need defense. Do something with your defense. Your offense obviously can score. So do something defensively, man. I don't know. That's a great question. Neil's inactive every week, and Hyatt don't even get a snap. So it's a great question, without question. Trucker T, thank you for doubling up, as my man Louis T would say. Thank you for doubling up. Double up. Do me a favor, brother.
Give me a hell yeah.
We're killing our defense. O-line needs to milk the damn clock and let our defense rest. It's like the offense just want to do their job, not helping on the defense side of the ball. Well, the one thing I'll say, in the first quarter, the Giants really did have a long drive. They had a lot of time possession in that first half. Second half, not so much until the fourth quarter. Then it just kept going back and forth. The Giants would score quick. The Cowboys would score quick. But again, like the first half, I felt like they did. But you're right. Most of the time, this offense would be off the field in 3 plays. Defense would get tired at the end of the game. That's what happened against Washington. We couldn't move the ball. We couldn't sustain drives. That's why we gave up 220 yards on the ground. But it's just, to me, that was a lot of Shane Bowen's defensive calls. And Dallas is a good offense. But, yeah, you're right. We need to sustain drives. The defense has to step up at times too, man. The defense, like I said, it's just crazy. Where the defense needs to make a stop, they just can't seem to do it. Then when the offense needs to get a score, they just can't seem to do it. It's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. One side's coming through, the other side's not going to come through. You score 6 points on offense. Defense holds Washington to 14 most of the game. We can't score. We put up 37 points against Dallas. We give them 40. We can't stop them. They just find ways. They just can't put a whole game together, and it's crazy. Chris and Baddog's intern, thank you, brother. If it ain't that's exactly it. If it ain't the offense messed up, it's a D, and vice versa. Why can't we ever be bang? I didn't even see that super chat. This is exactly what I just said. That's why we lose. It's like if one side of the ball is doing well, the other can't figure it out. They can't play well together. Like they can't put a game together where both units play well. That's what sucks. That's what sucks. Trucker T, thank you again, man. Appreciate you supporting the channel, my friend. He says, what do you think about? Well, I don't think Louis Riddick would. Oh, Riddick about our GM? I don't know if they would do that. I remember Riddick really liked. He liked Dwayne Haskins. He was not good. I can tell you, Flores. There was a whole thing with Flores when we hired Joe Judge. I remember that, like he sued the Giants because Belichick, and I forget exactly what happened. So I can't see Flores ever being any part of the Giants. I don't know that Strahan would want to be a coach. He has a great gig with whatever. He makes a ton of money doing that. I would like a guy like Antonio Pierce. I can tell you that. I think Pierce would be a great defensive coordinator. He did a good job of the Raiders, I felt like. So I would love a guy like Antonio Pierce. I don't know about I don't know the GMs. I really don't know a lot about the GMs. I know really good organizations. I thought when we got Brandon Brown, maybe Brandon Brown should be our GM. Maybe we should let him do it. He's the assistant GM. I don't really know what the assistant GM does. Maybe he should just be the GM. I don't know. I'm not good with that stuff, though. Like, I don't really know backgrounds on GMs. What I do know is we probably should have hired Jim Harbaugh as our head coach, and we didn't do that, unfortunately. Simon, thank you, brother. You know who's a terrorist? Shane Osama Bowen Laden. I tweeted out, by the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you got to follow me on Twitter. Links in the description. You got to follow me on Twitter. I have a lot of fun. But I had a tweet out there that said, describe Shane Bowen in 3 words or less. And some of the comments were absolutely hilarious. There's a lot of creative people on Twitter came up with some of those tweets, and I needed to laugh, and you guys provided it. So I appreciate that. Luis Cortez, thank you, brother. The star symbol on the helmet for the Cowgirls is not a logo. It's a ring. I wish we could have beat them, Luis. I wish we could have beat them. We should have beat them. We should have won that game. It's just discouraging. Like I said, 1-1 is so much different. You win a game against Dallas, you go to 1-1 overall, 1-1 in the division. You're feeling pretty good about yourself, especially with the way the offense performed. You're feeling like you could take a step forward, and instead, you take a heartbreaking defeat. And now you're 0-2, and now you're 0-2 in the division. You're immediately behind the 8 ball again. And now it's like we got to climb out of a hole, and we can't beat Dak Prescott. We can't beat the Commanders anymore. And then we got Philadelphia, Denver, and Philadelphia. And yeah, if the Giants can beat Kansas City, which I think is possible, they start to climb up. Maybe. People mentioned 2007, and I understand. 2007 was a special year. Defense got off to a terrible start that year. They gave up 80 points in the first 2 games. They were 0-2. Then they won a really tough game against Washington. They were down 17-0 at the half. They came back to win that game, and then they went on a run. I'm not saying we're going on a Super Bowl run, but it's not, at this point, it's not undoable. But this team has to find a freaking way to win a football game. They have to find a way to win a football game. And that's it. Janice, do me a favor, my lady. Oh, I didn't reset. My bad. Reset it.
Give me a hell yeah.
Thank you so much, Janice. She says, Baddog, what do you think about Gruden as head coach? I know he lost, but you and Chris did a great job calling the game Sunday, trying to be positive too, but it's hard sometimes. It's almost impossible to be positive about the Giants. It just is. Again, this isn't like a one-off where they were good for 3 years and they're having a bad start. They've been bad, the worst since 2017. I don't know about Gruden. Gruden is an old school coach. He hasn't coached in a long time. This is kind of like when they used to talk about Bill Cowher. I love John Gruden. But again, he's kind of got that old school mentality. I don't know how well. I know he loves Jackson Dart, but I don't know how that will work out. I don't know how he would be. He can't be worse than what we brought in here. That I can tell you. So I don't know. I don't know if Gruden would do it. Like, that's a lot of hours. Gruden's been out of the game a long time. I don't think he needs money. So I don't know. I don't know what they would do. Like, I don't know what John Mara does. I don't know what goes through John Mara's head when he hires these people. I don't know what he's looking for. I wish I did. I don't know if he does either. I don't really know if he knows what he's looking for. Big Mood, thank you, bro. You buy the Giants for $500, you never sell. Well, it's true. They're never going to sell. That'll be in their family forever. They did sell like 10% of it to somebody. I forgot who, but they did. Big Mood, thank you again, bro. Appreciate you. Brilly. What the fuck are the prevent? I know. The first play, they didn't play prevent defense. They went after him. They knocked the ball away from him. It was almost a fumble. Then they decided, let's play 20 yards off the your guess is as good as mine, man. Toasty, thank you. He says, I might be in the minority, but I hate Dallas more than there's definitely people that hate Dallas more than Philly. Definitely. I've asked people that. There's definitely, maybe there's more hate for Philly because they're really good right now, but Dallas has always been, people hate Dallas. Everybody hates Dallas, not just Giants. Everybody hates them. Raiders fans hate Dallas. Steelers fans hate Dallas. Niners fans hate Dallas. Packers fans hate. Everybody hates Dallas. Everybody. Cortez, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Give me a hell yeah.
The problem, Nepeta agreed 100%. Too scared to fire family, too scared to move on from failed draft picks. Drafting's wrong, constant turnover regimes, rinse, repeat. That's about as factual as it gets. They're too scared to fire family. They don't want to move on from mistakes. And then the players that are really good, they move on from them and they go on to do great things. It's just the New York Giants run their organization completely backwards. And that's the problem. Like, they get rid of the successful players and they hold on to the busts. I don't know what it is. I don't know. The Giants has got a lot of problems. They got to figure it out. That's it. If they can figure it out, they'll be fine. There's talent here. I was very encouraged, but obviously the game left a sour taste in my mouth because they didn't end up winning. But you got to be, and again, listen, Dallas' defense is atrocious. It's bad. It's bad. It's probably worse than ours, if we're being honest. It's a terrible defense. And they didn't have Deron Bland. It's a bad defense. It was a bad defense of Micah Parsons, okay? So it was bad. It's a bad defense. But the Giants' offense in previous years would have scored 15 points against that team, 18 points, and they would have got blown out 34-15. That's what would have happened in years previous. That did not happen this time. Russell Wilson got some rhythm, threw the ball deep well. Hit Wandale, big play. Hit Leak a couple of times for big plays. Leak had 2 touchdowns. Leak had the game winner until the defense screwed it up. You got to be encouraged by that. If nothing else, Russ showed he could play. And again, very impressive Marcus Bowe. You might have found something there. And although Daboll has just not been a good head coach, him pulling James Hudson after that first drive, I commend him for that. I give Daboll credit for that. That was smart. James Hudson was a total disaster. They actually should cut him. He's the guy that should be inactive. You should make him inactive and activate Evan Neal. Evan Neal, for as bad as he is, Evan Neal ain't going to commit 5 penalties on one drive. As bad as Evan Neal is, he's never done that. He's never done that. So it is. It's not good. I don't know. Nathan says, I'm a Steeler fan looking for a franchise quarterback since Ben retired. You're still looking for. Yeah, well, maybe we got one with Dart. I mean, you guys don't. The hell was that? You guys don't have a franchise quarterback over there. You have Aaron Rodgers, who's like my age. With the Giants, maybe they do have one in Jackson. I mean, I don't know what he's going to be, but they have a guy that they believe could be. So we'll see how he ends up being. But yes, since Eli left, I mean, it was Daniel Jones, and he wasn't it here. He might end up being Indiana. He might end up being Indianapolis's franchise quarterback, but not here. Not with the Giants. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what my dog is doing up there. I don't know what the hell she's got going on up there. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's the craziness, man. It's crazy. But listen, guys, girls, I'm gonna get out of here. Again, I always appreciate you tuning in. Like I said, we're gonna try to keep our heads up, figure it out. The offense figured it out. Just put it together. Just win a game. You're 0-2. It sucks. Win a game on Sunday night. Win your home opener. Go to 1-2. Beat the Chiefs. Things look completely different. It was a terrible loss. It was a terrible way to lose a game. It was a heartbreaking loss. I've moved on from it. Let's hope they figure it out and put a game together. Let's hope Shane Bowen figures out not to play that soft zone and starts using his pass rushers the way they should be used. That's it. No, let's not have 160 yards and penalties. And let's figure it out and win a game. I feel like they can do it still, but they got to figure it out. Like I said, we're going to be positive this whole week. I don't know what else to do because screaming at them ain't doing anything. So maybe if I change the vibes, maybe good things will happen. That's I'm trying to positive affirmation, trying to speak it into existence. So again, big shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring the show. Make sure you guys check out Sleeper. Click that link in the description. Enter that promo code BADDOG. Get your $100 match deposit bonus. You check that out. Big shout out to Body Armor Sport Water. As always, you gotta love it. It's really good. Trust me when I tell you. Get some of this. Get your flash sticks. It's really good water. And again, really appreciate all you guys and girls tuning in and supporting the show. It means a lot to me. This is a bad team. It's been a bad team for a long time. You guys are still there, always supporting me. Can't tell you how much it means to me. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Watch the game, and I'll see you soon. Bad Diggity Dizzle, and I'm out. Peace.